Morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee Talk. And if it's not morning for you, then hey, well, it's morning for us, and it's morning somewhere. And we're just glad you're here along for the ride. It's post-Easter. I don't know. I feel like one, you've listened to us a lot. Like if you were here for the service live and then went back and watched it just to catch the extended, or I guess not the average length, it turns out, Coffee Talk, that was at the start of the online, then hey, we're glad you did that. We're just glad that we got to spend a whole lot of time this weekend with people, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and I don't know about you guys, like we had neighbors over for dinner on Saturday night. We had like church Friday, Sunday, like it was just a great weekend of spending time with people. And it's so, we're glad that many of you were able to be out with others as well. Out in the gardens, I went for a walk. I dragged my kids for a walk on Monday. I'm like, you guys are getting out. We went for another walk along this little green space, kind of like I don't know, there's a trail. It's not really a park. It's kind of, but whatever, it's this natural area. And there was like the sunny flowers were out. It was beautiful. It was lovely. And so kind of our focus for Coffee Talk this morning is we want to talk about getting out, I guess, is one way to do it. But really specifically with a lean on different ways to serve in our community. Yeah. Because there's always lots of ways to get involved. And I know many of you serve regularly here at Lakeview, but then in other ways in the community. And if you're looking for something different to do, we regularly have organizations call us up, say, hey, do you have anyone? We need people. There's such a need for people these days. And we wanted just to make you aware of some of them so that you could think about whether or not that's a good fit for you in ways to kind of give back. And one of the things I love actually about partnering with organizations is you get to meet cool people and get to serve with other people in a lot of these. So if you're looking for something like that, then there's a few things to do there. One of them is we got a note this week about the gospel mission looking for some helpers. Jeff, I think you know probably more about this than I do. What can you share with everyone?
Actually, it's on our bulletin board. We posted it there so that if you're in the building, you can see it. If you want to ask us about it, we can send it to you. But they're looking for all kinds of things. They're looking for camera people, greeter. There's just a list of about 6 or 7 different things they're looking for.
And that's front of house and back of house, right? So like they're looking for kitchen crew, they're looking for people in the back, they're looking for people to walk around and kind of hand out water bottles and like stuff like that, and to make connections and obviously I may be assuming that they would help you like get trained in that so you know kind of what you're doing, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think whenever I've been part of groups that have volunteered even just for a day with the gospel mission, it's you kind of they don't just sort of say, yeah, there's a room, figure it out. They kind of walk you through what you're doing, and I think they try and treat their people really well. So that's great. Is part of this like a gearing up, expecting like it's going to be a busy hot summer and we're just going to need, or is this like short term, boom, we need people now, or is this we want to get people in place for this season ahead?
I think they're a little bit of everything. Okay. They're just like, hey, we have lots going on. We need help for it, and this is an opportunity for us to love our city, people in it, and people in need. So yeah,
awesome.
Those are great questions.
Can I just say too that like Christy said, one of the advantages is getting out, but I also think about it too that like it's always a constant reminder for me that there's something else happening outside of these 4 walls. Outside of my little circle, outside of my community, like looking all around Kelowna and all of these amazing things happening, like there's a lot of different ministry that's happening that needs to make connection, like that we have no idea about and we need to be aware of, right? Like there's purpose and reason behind even just being aware of these.
Yeah. Well, and I think, we just had Good Friday, right? And one of the things I love about our Community Good Friday services is an opportunity to connect with other churches and know that, there's these other churches and they all have different things they're doing in different ways. They're trying to share the gospel in our community. And sometimes that service will also bring in other organizations to kind of share a little bit about it. And I understand that the Pregnancy Care Center was part of that. I say this, like if you're like, hey, we didn't see you, I was with kids all morning. Just so I was there. Yeah. I was just not there. I was there, but I was like, up in the upper room, where the holiest.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesus was present. Let me tell you, it was beautiful. But yes, sorry. But in the service,
in the service, but also even like in some of our planning in the month before, of talking about, okay, we often give an offering. If we're going to come together, we could probably do an amazing thing with a larger amount of people. Let's take an offering. That's what we often do. But quite often it's like, okay, who do we do that to? And like, it isn't just eeny, meeny, miny, mo or duck, duck, goose. It's, where is God really leading us to?
Yeah.
Where is also a large need? What is something that's kind of on our heart and on our mind even these days? Like there's multiple things kind of going on in the background there. And yeah, like all of the West Side evangelical pastors kind of leaned towards the pregnancy care, Okanagan Valley Pregnancy Care Counseling Care Center.
we'll get that right in the description below.
Every time I mess it up, but
okay.
but an amazing organization that does a lot of connections with so many different things, but really does a lot of connections to moms and helps a lot of that way. So that was what our offering went to. What's also happening is in the next little bit is from Mother's Day to Father's Day, we have what's called the Baby Bottle Brigade campaign. Man, I'm messing up my words. But essentially from Mother's Day to Father's Day, it's a real drive to say there's a large need, and so we need donations. And so they bring in these bottles as a reminder. You can drop change in them, you can drop a check in them, you can put it on their counter and just have it as a reminder. Go online, donate at their website, and like all of these are really good and amazing and important things to be a part of. That's right in our backyard. They're also going to probably come and tell us a bit about it in the next month or so as well too. So you'll be able to hear about it a little bit more too.
Right. So if you missed the Good Friday service, you'll hear directly from them. We've partnered with them in this for do you remember, Kevin, how many years in a row is this? It's quite a few now, right?
Yeah, I would say 2014.
Okay, I thought you were going to say 20 years. I'm like, nah, but yes, 2014-ish. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Like, wow, time went by fast.
And this is bigger than our community. There's other pregnancy centers that do this baby bottle thing. I was listening to somebody down in California talking about it. So it's a pretty cool thing that we're helping with. But.
Yeah.
And the only reason I knew that too was because the video that they showed when they said give some money, it showed an American dollar.
Yeah,
like, really?
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Oh, the world is bigger than West Kelowna.
It's not.
Turns
not
out.
just a Canadian.
Yeah. That's
So
great.
so we've got the Gospel Mission and the Pregnancy Care Center with baby bottles. And I mean, we don't have anything specific, like the Salvation Army hasn't called us this week, but I mean, always.
Yeah.
Every time I go in the
Salvation
thrift store, which is fairly regularly,
Yeah.
there's a sign asking if anybody's interested in helping out.
Yeah.
But then
And if you haven't seen, the Gospel Mission has a store on the west side as well too.
Yep.
In case that's news to anybody.
some of us have very much seen.
Oh yeah.
And I better stop before I start sounding like we're addicted to thrift stores. I could probably tell you what's in stock anyway. I'm just kidding. It's not like that. But anyway, so there's Salvation Army, Gospel Mission. People might not know this is a way we partner with the food bank, but every year we deliver backpacks of school supplies to the food bank that the food bank distributes. And they like to get those at the beginning of summer so they can be given out over the summer months because not everybody comes in each week, right? They might come July and not see that family again for a couple months. And so they want to be able to get those out during the summer. And often that ends up being something, I guess for lack of a better word, I forget about. Now, I don't forget about it, but I forget, like, and all of a sudden they'll be like, hey, can we get the backpacks? I'm like, oh yeah, I've got those. I just got to get them. So, we kind of scramble. We want to be a little more proactive this year and invite you, church, to get really involved in that. And so because this is something our church does, not just the pastors and a few kids do, but like our church. So we want to invite you to really be thinking about how you could be involved in that. And actually, we're not going to ask you to brainstorm ideas. We're going to tell you specifically. We'd love you to donate just a backpack.
Yeah, a good quality
backpack. We would love to be able to give them a backpack that actually lasts a full school year. And some of them out there just don't. But the kids often will have a lot of pride in their backpack and be like, this is my backpack. This is, this is something that it's not just a bag to get from A to B, but it's a real important tool for education. And so during the month of May, well, any time now, but up through now till the end of May, we'd love it if you'd consider donating just an empty backpack, and then at the end of June, middle end of June, we'll have kind of the kids of our church and any adults that want to help stuff them.
And so do we have do we want donations for the stuffing?
No, just backpacks.
Just backpacks.
Just backpacks, because then that's really what we need. That's the big need. We had someone earlier donate a whole bunch of the school supplies.
Okay.
So we don't need that, but we do need some backpacks. And the more we have, the more we can give, and the more kids can start the upcoming school year, which is painful to say, but can start the upcoming school year on that great note. So yeah.
That's
so anyways,
great.
that's another way that you can get involved in and kind of give back to our community too. A quality new backpack would be much appreciated for that.
And we know that not everybody can be involved. We want you also just to be aware, so you can be praying for our community. You can pray specifically for some of these ways that organizations are serving, and God's body is working with these organizations to serve. So
absolutely. So we'd love to be together in that. And you know what? If I can go back to the backpack just real quick, because I want to specifically. The thing that's hardest to find is backpacks for older kids. So, and I probably should have said that a moment ago, but just if you're thinking about donating one, think about that. It's really easy for them to get like the character stuff or stuff that's like pink and stars, and which is fine. It's great. They need all that. There's certainly lots of kids, but backpacks for like your middle and high schooler, that's really where they need the most. It's hardest to get. And so, if you're thinking about that, if you're going to go on Amazon this afternoon and order one, and then you don't have to go out if that's your thing, just be thinking about that. And then, like we said, we're just so grateful, church, that you have such big hearts for our community, for one another, and that you're already involved in doing the work. And so, thanks for being part of our family and doing this, because it's kind of fun that we get to do it together. Thanks for joining us this day. Thanks for being part of our church, and we look forward to connecting with you on Sunday.